Are you constantly losing in Overwatch 2 and wondering if your teammates are actually bots in disguise? Do you feel like you're just one ranked game away from throwing your PC out the window? Well, take a deep breath and don't uninstall just yet. All you have to do is click the link in the description, join my Discord server, and send in your gameplay for a completely free VOD review. So what are you waiting for? Yeah, you. Send in your VOD, get coached by a top 500 player, and start climbing today. Enjoy the video. Alright, VOD review time. It's been a while. We got KP here, Diamond 2 Tracer. He says ex-Overwatch 1. Shut the hell up, Tracer. He says he's an ex-Overwatch 1 GM player who relied too much on mechanics. Now I'm old with bad mechanics and I'm struggling in Diamond. I think my main issue is how many times I'm dying when I shouldn't be. This game is not as bad as others, but I'm usually most deaths in the game unless I hit flow state. So you'd be dying a lot. Also, you say that you're old. How old are you, bro? Don't mind me asking, bro, because you know there's this kind of thing going on in the video game world where people say that they're old and they're not old. 29? I don't know. I don't think you can use that excuse, bro. You're not that old, man. There's professional players in the Counter-Strike scene that are 40. Come on, LeBron James is pushing 50, bro. You ain't old. Anyways, so you say that you're dying a lot, so we're gonna focus on that's gonna be like the main focus of this video is why you're dying and what you should be doing instead. Let's tab out here, get this nice little layout of the map. Trace is very good on Ilios on honestly all the points. Let's get my nice marker going. So you really have two options here at the start of the match. One, you can blink out and go left side, or one you can roll out right side. I would suggest going up to this left side. This left side is way more important to control on the map. You've got a mini here, you've got a mini here, and if they do decide to go right side, then you can wrap around behind them. But I think it's very important to try to take control of this little building right here before the other team. And as Tracer, that's something that you should be doing. Also, if Symmetra's not banned, you should make a habit of TPing your team out of spawn and then instantly swapping back Tracer since he's a high mobility character. You could TP them out, go back to spawn, swap Tracer, and then, you know, start doing your own thing. Perk wise for Tracer, I'll throw them up on the screen right now for you guys watching YouTube. I would say for perk wise, you always want to be going with the melee perk. That gives you 20 bullets back with melee. Even if, you know, you feel like you don't use the melees a lot or you're not good with them, I'd say it's very good practice to at least start trying to get good with them. That perk is very good. And also melee is a crucial part to Tracer's gameplay. You can confirm a lot more kills while using the melee, even without the perk. Then for the secondary perk, there is, I want to say it's you gain a blink off every health pack you grab, or when you recall you gain overhealth and 20 plus bullets. I want to say that it's between those two. If it's map like Ilios, I'd be grabbing that health pack perk. If it's a bigger map, like a payload map where you're not going to be using the health packs as much, then I'd grab the overhealth. But for the most part, I would be using health pack perk combined with the melee perk. All right, let's get started. Let's see how you decide to go about this, where you decide to go. Okay, you decide to go left side. I like that. Really quiet in the game right now. Like this, just kind of getting pressure, distracting their supports. See that? I don't know about that. Going in like that and forcing a recall like that was kind of unnecessary. You guys get the brig kill, but honestly, I don't think you contributed a lot to it. See, now you have to play a little bit more passive because you wasted 2 blinks to get there and you recalled. Good pressure on the Genji. That's trying to kill your backline. I like how you're peeling for your team. That's a good one clip on the Tracer. So far, so good. I'm not sure. Let's roll it back a little bit. I'm not sure if you needed to recall there. Oh, yeah, honestly, I don't think you need to recall. But I mean, you get the kill. That's one thing that you could have done better. Focusing the Mercy. See, if you had recall, instead of wasting it, you wouldn't have died there. Also, since you guys were already up, you're kind of playing a little bit too fast. But I think your team should be able to clean up here. That was a good stick on the Tracer, but I was about to say, she has recall, so you gotta be thinking about what kind of abilities they have before you throw that sticky out. So far, yeah, your mechanics are good. Like, you actually hit the stick on there, but she had recall, so kind of wasted it. I like how you're focusing on this backline. The Mercy's falling off the map. Okay, she fell off the map. I would go hard onto this brig right now. More focus to Ram. Nice. Again, not sure if you needed that recall. You had 2 blinks. You could just blink away instead of recalling. And I feel like so far, I'm not seeing you commit to... Okay, that Tristan got shit on. So far, I'm not seeing you commit to many... Like you're playing a little bit too passive. Like right now, you should be going full in. Nice. I like how you attempted the melee. Nice. You tried it. Alright, nice. So this time, I would be trying to stick the Brig or the Mercy. You don't really have anything to worry about. They don't have a Curie, they don't have BAP, they don't have Life Weaver, they can't like save anybody from the stick. Boom. Nice. You just gotta watch out for the res. That's the one thing that you gotta watch out for. Mercy's probably gonna get the res off. So yeah, that's why I'd prefer to try to stick the Mercy or the Brig in that situation. Preferably the Mercy though, so she can't get that res off. That was also kind of an early time to use the pulse bomb. Good so far. Good melee on the Tracer. I want to see you staying in that blink range a little bit more. Like right here, you're in a blink melee range. Anytime you're in blink melee range, I want to see you going for that blink melee. Like instead of walking out towards him and trying to shoot at him, you could have blink melee'd around the corner, hit him with the melee, and then try to burst him real up close. And right here, again, instead of trying to go towards him, get closer to him, I'd be backing up into the blink melee range and just trying to always be playing in that blink melee range. Even right here, you start to move forward. Instead of moving forward, I'd be shooting at him, slightly going backwards until you're in that blink melee range, and then you could have finished him off with the melee. That's the one thing that it's really important to focus on is your spacing as Tracer and always staying in that blink melee range, especially in the Tracer 1v1s. See how right here, you start to move forward. Instead, I would be shooting at him moving backwards, and then you can hit him with the blink melee 180. Also, one thing that's really good when practicing Tracer is Tracer 1v1s. Tracer 1v1s are like the fastest way to get better at Tracer. I've sat in so many hours of those. They're honestly really fun, and it's a really good way to get better at Tracer and her mechanics. But here, you kind of just you just don't recall. You take a lot of damage. He was getting damage boosted. You're in the slow. So you should have invested your recall there. Also, your team, you were down like half your team, so you should have known. You need to be paying attention to like what's going on in the actual game. So you should have known that you were down and that you shouldn't have gone for an aggressive play like that. Your team gets rolled. Here I'd be gripping up. I wouldn't try to invest any of my blinks or recall just yet in the fight. I like how you're pressuring out the Tracer. She dies. Again, wasted recall again. That's a bad habit that a lot of Tracers do. I have it myself. Whenever you get that final glow, especially when you get it with the melee, you like to recall right after because it looks cool or it just feels right. But again, you kind of wasted it. You could have just lived or grabbed the health pack. I tend to either recall too early when not needed or press it too late and I'm dying because of it. That's also one thing that Tracer 1v1s will really teach you, how to get the most value out of recall, because that's basically like half of the Tracer 1v1 is getting more value out of the recall than the enemy Tracer. Here, I would like to see you go for a stick on the Mercy potentially or the Brig, but this time don't let them res it. Again, you stick the Tracer, but she has recall. You can't go for pulse bombs on the Tracer unless you see her recall. They actually swapped to Lucio from Brig. Another thing I'd like to see you doing more, especially against this Lucio, right? Instead of holding down your mouse 1 and just like firing the entire clip, a good way to get like damage off or more damage off is by bursting your clip. You don't have to like hold down the entire clip. Whenever you start to miss or whatever, you can stop shooting and shoot and burst. So you actually end up doing more damage. Like right now you're doing 0 damage to this guy because you're wasting more than half your bullets missing. So instead, what you could be doing is bursting whenever you're on target, and when you're off target, readjust and aim and burst the gun like that. And again, you don't recall. So that's a big thing I'm noticing is, one, you're not recalling when you're about to die, which you should always know when you have recall. It should be kind of like a thing that kind of like flows within the match. Like the thing about Tracer which is so good is that you can fully commit onto things and feel confident because you do have the recall. Right now, you're just kind of like sitting in the middle of the fight using your blinks. You're not really, you want to be like preemptively thinking about how you're going to use your recall. Like, okay, I'm going to go in right now, I'm going to go on this Lucio, and if it doesn't work out, then I'm going to recall out. And then you should like have a general idea of where you're going to land back when you do use the recall. That combined with bursting your gun a little bit more is very important on Tracer. Yeah, I know I might recall, but I try to push it way too long. No, it's honestly better. It's honestly better to do it early than wait too long. You don't always have to get like full HP value out of it. Like sometimes I'll recall and I haven't even took damage yet. It's just the fact that I've committed all the way in, it didn't work, and I'm recalling back out to get to the position where I want to be.
Let's attack the objective.
So like here, I'd recall, bang. Alright, you did it. Nice. Nice, grabbing the mini. I'd be playing to try to get pulse bomb here as quickly as I can, and I try to stick to Lucio. Nice try. I saw that you're trying to get the stick on the Genji. I find myself prioritizing potentially getting a kill than potentially dying. You always want to play your life on any of the roles. It's a lot more important to stay alive than it is to get a kill in most situations. Like I said, sometimes you have to take the loss. I know you didn't get the final blow that you're looking for and just use the recall early, but you still have to think about it as a win. Like, yeah, you still pressured them and they're still low HP, so you could either, one, after you're done recalling, you can go back in and try to finish the kill. That's if you have enough blinks. Or two, one of your teammates could finish off the kill. You don't always have to be getting these final blows. See, here I'd instantly start going on that Lucio. He's completely out of position. But what you're doing is fine. Again, yep, focus on Mercy. Just wait for her. She's going to have to drop down eventually. Blink melee. I'd like to see you incorporating the blink melees a lot more. Good cleanup so far. So like here you're going super aggressive and you don't have recall yet, so this is actually very risky. You don't have many blinks either, so I can see you dying here potentially.
Special delivery.
See, this all happened. This whole entire mess happened because you decided to go in after you recalled and you were low on blinks, so you kind of panicked the pulse bomb. Panic all your abilities. Yeah, you don't die, but it's kind of like you're just doing a bunch of nothing this fight. Yeah, you get these kills, but it's only because that your tank and stuff initiated, and you're just kind of following up. In higher ranked lobbies, you'll definitely die there. You'll find yourself getting punished a lot more. Nice, okay. Ooh, close. Alright, so you don't have recall, you gotta... Ah, nice try. I would have went to the mega down here instead of that mega. I would have blinked down here. This is a lot more safer of a mega, and it also brings you a lot more out of the fight instead of like right there. As soon as Lucio gets the beat off, that's when I would be like, okay, time to get out. There's nothing I can do. I have no recall. Like right immediately, I'd be blinking down here. And these are things that you should be thinking about like ahead of time. Like as soon as you see that Lucio going for the beat, you should be thinking in your head, okay, if he actually gets it off, I'm gone. Where am I going next? You should always have like a plan of where you're going instead of trying to like reactively figure it out as you go. Again, you're going in kind of early. Your team's not there yet, so I'll just be careful. You're by yourself. I'd be peeling for the people that the team is killing right now. Instead, you die, you take too much damage. You're just kind of out of the flow of the fight there. You're going in like 1v3. I know you had recall, you could have recalled, you could have done a lot of things better there, but the main mistake there is just not being with your team and focusing the right thing. You should have been focusing the Venture that they were killing, or whoever they were killing. I forgot who it was. I think it was the on-ramp maybe. Nice.
Like my snacking?
Oh, close. I like that. Again, you need to be preemptively recalling as soon as you chuck that pulse there. One key tip also, this is kind of like a weird tip. It's not always the case, but as soon as you hear Tracer will go, she'll like do a deep gas. She'll be like, she'll do that, right? Anytime you hear that, that's when you're going to want to be pressing recall. Like, listen, you hear that? As soon as you hear that, reactively every single time you should be clicking it. So if you listen out for that voice line, that little gasp that she makes, that's a good base way of knowing when you should recall. 'Cause when she does that, that's when she's under 50 HP, I think, and that's when you're most likely gonna die. Again, see, this is a little small thing. You see how on that kill on the Anran? See how you're shooting like 30 bullets out of your gun, just you're shooting it into the air. As soon as you stop, as soon as like the target changes spots or that doom punches her in the wall, you should stop shooting right here, readjust your mouse, and then shoot the gun more in burst instead of trying to just hold down the mouse the entire time. Especially against this Lucio too, it's a lot better to burst the gun. And by bursting the gun, you actually, you know, you take advantage of like the way the gun spreads. Tracer's gun, the spread starts off really tight, so if you burst it, then you'll end up hitting more pellets than if you do holding it down. I like the temp on the melee. Alright, so far, that was a way better round than the last round. Still a lot of things you should be working on. I kind of forgot that last point. Let's go back. As Tracer, your main job on this point, oh, you can't see it. I would start the game off by going into this little mini room here. As soon as the point unlocks, you want to be trying to force point as quickly as possible if your team hasn't already won the fight. Because one, it might draw the tank back to the point to touch, or two, you'll be able to cap the point for free. Then after you do so, just your job on Tracer is if once you have the point capped, if any of their team tries to go on and capture the point, your main job is to contest it while your team fights for the space in the middle. If they do not decide to go on the point, then you could stay around this area of the map or this area of the map and play the short sight lines. But the main important thing that I wanted to point out is it's very important as Tracer to contest the point and cap the point at the very starts of the round and when you do have the point capped. Same thing for like on payload maps, especially on like maps like Gibraltar, where, you know, on that first push you have to push the cart under the high ground. Your job as Tracer is to kind of patrol the cart and push it under the high ground to a point where then you can go up to your team and take the high ground. But that's a whole different map, whole different story. And then for this last point, you have two options. You can either you can go right side or you can go left side. I would suggest going left side. You have this mega here. You can fight for the space. This is like the main place where you're going to be fighting for space and your team's going to be fighting for space. If one of their DPS or supports or anybody tries to go on an off angle on this right side, then I'd go and contest that. If not, then I'd play behind them. I would play behind them, use these health packs to advantage, and just kind of make space by being behind them and pressuring them back or taking their focus away from the actual fight to you. A lot of times as Tracer, you don't even have to be killing people to get value out of Tracer. You just need to be distracting them or pulling their attention away from the team. Alright, so let's see what you decide to do here. You decide to go left side.
3 times the charm.
Just kidding, you decide to go right side. I like this. But again, look how many blinks you're wasting to get up there. I would continue to walk up there, because by the time you blink all the way up to their team, you have 0 blinks left. You know what I mean? Like now you have no blinks, and you're struggling with like 1 blink the entire fight. Again, you could have heard the trace or that Sombra. She translocated, which you could have heard. And second, as soon as you hear the hack, either one, you need to turn around real quickly and try to shoot her out of the hack, or two, you need to just invest a recall before you get hacked. If you're not going to try to flick around and shoot her by the time she hacks you, then you just invest a recall and get out. But your team engaged that very poorly. Your Doomfist kind of went in way too early, along with you. I know that you're trying to go along with your Doomfist, but you kind of used all your blinks to get in there. So by the time you're in the fight with the Doomfist, you guys were kind of cooked.
Maga's here. Lucky you.
Okay, we swap Maga. Alright, just time to chill, wait for your Maga. Not much you need to be doing right now. Good kill on the Sombra. fine. There against that Ana, you should have been like, you should have blinked what I would have done. As soon as she turns around, you know that she's going to throw a nade or a sleep. So as soon as you finish that next clip, instead of going for the melee because you know that it's not going to kill her, I would have blinked like diagonally behind her to the right. I would have blinked this way, reloaded, and then finished her off this way instead of going straight into her point blank and then getting slept like that. Again, I think you would have lost this fight because, I mean, the team just kind of dying. Again, you don't have the recall yet, so be careful. Nice. All right, get all the way out. You need to get all the way out. You're overdoing your stay, and you die. Yeah, that's one thing. As soon as you use that recall, your team's not even back yet, so you need to back up. So look, now in probably the most crucial fight of the game, you're not there to participate. Again, you're down 2. You should be realizing this, and your team should honestly just be regrouping at this point or dying. You invested a pulse bomb. They invested EMP, and you guys are just kind of staggering. You guys are like, you guys might not even get another fight out of this because of how long you guys stagger in the point 3v5. Watching this back, I realize how bad I'm playing. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Together. That's the point of these reviews. You saw out Sojourn, which honestly I would stay on the Tracer because you're gonna have to touch point at some point. I would go full in on that Ana there. I died. Unlucky. So that's probably the game right there. Check the scoreboard. Okay, so you had 11 deaths. That's not too bad. 32 and 11. I think the main problem is that you kind of don't have a plan with what you're doing as you're going into the fight. You're kind of just doing everything reactively. You need to start to slow down a bit and think about who you're going on, what you're doing, what your team's doing. You're kind of just playing your own game, shooting whatever is closest to you. You need to start thinking about, okay, my team's going in, I'm going to go in. Okay, my team's shooting this, I'm going to shoot this. If I can't, I'm going to recall out, back up. Definitely practice bursting your gun. Definitely controlled. Instead of just blinking around, like kind of shooting at everything, be like, start to have like a little plan. Be like, okay. See, like right now, you're shooting the tank, then you're blinking, you're kind of looking everywhere, you don't know what to do. You blink, you use your recall because you're just kind of like shooting the tank, taking a lot of damage, and you die. A lot of Tracer is waiting for the right time to strike and just doing nothing until then, kind of just like bursting around them. See, if you would have waited just a little bit longer to engage or use your blinks, then by the time the fight breaks out, when the other team has already used all their abilities, or most of them, that's when you can go in and strike. But yeah, I think that's about it. I hope that helps. If it doesn't, then you could submit another one in like a week or two.